I can make an observation. I'm expecting a home inspector to roll up his sleeves.
Leave that like that. That's enough. You're gutting the basement?
With the money we paid for this house, we paid for it to be done right the first time.
Guess what's next?
I'm gutting the garage.
You are gutting the garage.
Oh, crap.
If I knew all those issues, even half of those issues, I would have turned away.
It's already half gutted at this point. I got to open up walls here. We have to do the whole basement. We have to do the garage. I have to do the attic. I have to do the roof. What's left? Look at that. Wow. Look at under me. Look at under me. Oh, my God.
Sean and Carol expecting a baby, trying to buy their first home. Wanted to move close to his family. They found the perfect place.
We're looking for a house with enough space for us to grow into, and nice piece of property, close to school, and nice green space around.
The house has been totally redone and re-renovated, so for us, the appeal or the aesthetics of the house were phenomenal. You start to kind of, envision things in your mind about growing up and growing a family together in this home.
They did the right thing. They hired a home inspector. He gives it 2 thumbs up.
He, quote, said, you have a solid house here, take care of these few minor things and you're good to go.
The house looks good, but let me tell you, looks are deceiving. We gutted the basement, and I mean we gutted the basement. The electrical panel was overloaded. One circuit had 17 items on it. We had freezing cold rooms. Look at that yellow. That's massive heat loss right through the roof line. If you can't hold the heat in, you're gonna be cold. Plumbing leaks in the basement and dining room. Then all of a sudden we got water coming across the floor. Now, why do I have water coming across the floor from that location right there? Now we need to look in both your bathrooms upstairs. We're gonna have to pull some walls down there to fix the plumbing problem, put it all back together, which leads to tiling, which leads to... In the attic, we found areas that had no insulation whatsoever. Wires have been chewed by mice, squirrels, you name it.
I don't expect a home inspector to be able to see through walls, but observational things, in hindsight, you think about it, he didn't turn the furnace on, he didn't turn, even go as far as to turn on faucets or flush toilets. So, those are observational things that I think as a professional he should have caught.
In the garage, we found poorly insulated heat runs and all kinds of areas where outside air was coming into the home. But more than anything, because of that little hole, the holes over here that I see behind the wood, are pulling in carbon monoxide into your house.
Oh.
We found areas that a lot of trusses were cut and more signs of mice and animals. Up in your attic, we found nothing but mice poop everywhere.
Obviously, to the extent of what Mike and his team have found, he severely missed the mark.
On the roof, we found patching, cracked tiles, and even more areas where animals were getting in.
Almost everything we can imagine is wrong with this house.
And I had to open up the kitchen ceiling because there was definitely a structural issue from the bedroom. One day, your bedroom is gonna be in your kitchen. I need to drop this whole ceiling. I need to drop everything in this area. We've already framed the entire basement, and I may have to change that just to fix structure. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna make it right. What matters is what I have to do to make it right.
Oh, come on in, man. So, had Ethan come in from Blackwell Bowick?
Yes.
Because when we started looking at this, it was actually pretty sketchy.
They went the wrong way.
Well, look at the span. You got over a 13-foot span. Now, when I got Adam to bounce on this floor, that beam started shaking too. So that brought us over to the point load. That point load is hanging in midair in the basement.
You're just waving in the air right there?
Waving in the air right there.
Okay, let's see the basement. All right. I need to see these 2 areas right here.
Okay, come on. I'll show you.
All right, I'm gonna assume that the point load on this side that holds the beam that crosses the floor joist and the opening in the kitchen is over this steel beam.
Absolutely.
I don't see any squash blocks. Second, where the hell's this side?
Okay, right here. This is where our point load is. Where's my X here?
This?
Right here. So my point load is right here.
That's not good.
No. But here's what Ethan has come up with. He wants to put a metal I-beam right through here to pick that up. Yeah, it gets better. He wants us to double up all the ceiling joists in that kitchen and install 2 C-channels on either side of that beam. So that way we can transfer all the weight load in the bedroom down through the floor and onto that new I-beam in the basement.
Because they ran the floor joist across this way.
Yeah.
Wow, you silly buggers.
Isn't it?
This is a big issue. I guess the job just got bigger.
I'd say.
Wow, looks are deceiving. I heard something about a squirrel.
We were just sitting in the family room, then I heard something in the chimney. So we just stood there and watched, and sure enough, something came down. It was black squirrel.
That's some damage from our friend Charlie.
Charlie,
Is that Charlie?
did this.
Oh, he was inside trying to get out. You probably
Yes.
scared the hell out of him, man.
That's correct, yeah. Well, actually, in the summertime, he actually chewed a hole through that screen.
Yeah,
It was on the
when
outside.
the window was open.
When the window was open, just crawled and just helped himself to a snack on the counter.
Now I know you got a structural issue from your bedroom to your kitchen. And you got one big heavy cabinet at the end of your bed, plus you guys. For 12-inch on center, there's no way I'm gonna have that kind of play on the floor. I know they did something.
Well, this is an exciting day. We're actually getting the roof started today, which is fantastic. We also have my guys. We're starting structure today, fixing the broken bones of this house and getting it back together. Our structural engineer has asked us to put an I-beam in the basement that's right under the point load that's in the kitchen. And the welders are gonna add some metal plates under that direct point as well to stiffen the beam. You guys are just getting those into place for me? Yep. So the guys are in the kitchen right now, doubling up every joist that's in the ceiling cavity. What they're gonna do is they're gonna glue and screw them, and that'll really take the bounce out and help restructure that floor. There's gonna be 2 structural C-channels that are gonna sit right here on this side and right here on this side, and then they're gonna be packed out with wood. The C-channel has to be bolted in place, which means we're gonna drill a hole every 12 inches for a new bolt. Now, the steel is pretty thick, and it's a lot easier to drill them on the ground. So you guys go ahead and get these in. I'm gonna get the guys going downstairs with that beam, and I'll come up and help you when I'm done, okay? Let's get this joist out. We're supported upstairs, so we're fine at this point. One, two, three. So Adam, we're gonna lift it. Just let her grab the block so you don't trip on it. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Can you go more, buddy? Okay, I'm on the beam. You can come in a bit. There you go. Okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Okay, you got it for a sec, Adam? Okay, you got it, Carl?
Yeah, on a wire.
It's okay. Jared, move the wires for him, please. Move the wires.
I can't. I don't have enough room.
Okay, we're coming down.
You gotta. No, I don't have enough room to push it back.
Okay, girl, we're going up.
Hang it.
Can you get it up at all, Carl?
Gotta go to the left.
Okay, we're in.
You want to slide it back? Try it.
Hold on. Okay, I got it.
Fighting the flex.
Okay. Let's get a jack post under this right now, please. Come right between me and Adam. Carl, can you wedge it this way?
1, 2, 3.
No, he's got to hit it from the other end, okay? You're going. Keep going. Very. There we go. You in? You tight?
You're touching.
Okay. So I want people on each jack post. I want to crank this thing level. Okay, crank it, boys.
A little bit more. A bit more.
Stop, stop. It's a lot of work to support that point load in the kitchen and restructure the entire bedroom floor. It's already dropped about 2 inches, and if it was not restructured properly, it could sag to the point it could become a concern. Okay, we're good.
We're here starting the roof today. Basically, we came to the conclusion that, you know, the roof is in sort of desperate need of full replacement. Obvious signs of wear, premature granule loss, cracking of the shingles. We know that based on the bad ventilation of the attic space, really prematurely wearing out the life of the shingle. We know we've had animal damage to the roof, as well as animals migrating actually into the home. So a couple of areas, we're going to be eliminating the actual roof vents and installing a ridge vent, which is more critter resistant, and then doing some repairs to the chimney caps themselves. Squirrels like to climb down these chimneys as well, so we want to make sure that those areas are covered properly and critter resistant as much as possible. It's a complex roof shape. We've got low slopes, almost wall slopes, and then other slopes up top with a lot of hips and valleys and such. Basically, extra care and work in those areas. When it comes to leaks on roofs, the most vulnerable areas are the areas where there's protrusions, such as dormers, chimneys, and such. So that's where we're going to make sure that we do our best in terms of making sure there's proper underlayments installed and that they're flashed properly and that sort of thing. We're at the point where we could see that last time they did the roof, they did use roofing felt, which is a positive sign. Although, if you look at a lot of the nails in the felts, these shingles are allowing water past them. A lot of the nails are rusty, which definitely, it's basically time to do this roof. Again, the animal's been in this place, probably running rampant through the attic. We noticed a couple of areas lower in the roof where these animals were getting in, these critters. And so we'll make sure when we're installing the new products that all those areas are sealed off.
We have a panel swap happening, which means power's being shut down. We're on generators for the rest of the day.
Okay, generators on.
The reason we're changing this panel out is because of the expandability reasons. This is an older style panel. I'm gonna guess it probably at about 20 years plus. Because we're finishing the basement and because we're gonna need more spaces for dedicated lines and just more general circuits, just for a usefulness standpoint, we're just gonna go ahead and change this out.
I can almost see my truck from here.
Yeah, that's not a fun hole. I'm not so worried about animals getting in here as I am the water, the cold, everything else. I don't want to finish up this basement and have a cold zone behind my panel, so do everything we can to stop that. After the new panel's installed, we'll use hydraulic cement on the outside to close up this gap.
I ran a shower up on the second floor.
Yeah.
And I heard the water on the main floor behind the wall in the dining room. I need to open up the wall on the second floor behind that shower.
This is the freezing cold room.
Yeah.
The room that we had earmarked for Liam's nursery was not getting any airflow. This past winter probably got into the 5 to 6 degree range. It really, what we affectionately call the meat locker.
All right, so Gary's gonna be here today. He's gonna fix that duct line that reduces for the meat locker room, okay? So we're gonna have to take out that bulkhead in the corner and channel that ceiling, which means you know what we're doing, right?
We've already started plastering the floor, so.
There's no proper way to fix a stipple ceiling. A patch looks like a patch. So what we're gonna have to do is scrape it down, do a first coat of Durabond, and then smooth it out with a lighter compound.
Well, what we found here is the run coming up to the bedroom, which everyone's referring to as the meat locker, was a 5-inch pipe running up the drywall box going into that room. So that was this one right here. So we've changed it, put in a 6-inch boot. We have the opportunity now to insulate that box. They're gonna spray foam around it. It's gonna keep it warm. It's a simple heating run, changing from 5 to a 6. You may think, what's the big deal? Well, it is a big deal. You're gonna bring a lot more air up there. It's gonna be warmer in the winter, cooler in the summer, but it created a lot of problems here. This was a stucco ceiling. They gotta now flatten this ceiling out, patch up these boxes, but it's about the homeowner. We wanna give them heat up there.
At this point, we have our beam in the basement in place. It's the structure that's gonna hold the weight above my head from this room to the roof line. We do have trusses sitting over top of this room, which transfers all of that weight down to that 1-point load. At this point, what we have is a C-channel. It's an engineered beam that we actually infill with a piece of wood. A bit more. Okay, no up. Okay, I'm gonna rest it there for 1 sec. Push it in. There we go. Okay, go up. Ah! Now, once everything's bolted into place and the joists are attached, it will really lock that floor into place and redistribute all that weight down to the I-beam we installed in the basement.
I think I'm pretty good.
We're good. Okay, go.
You're on.
Okay.
Get over.
Can you take it down for a sec, please? Just a bit, just a bit, just a bit. Oh, yeah, hold on. Put it back up. Okay. Awesome. Okay, Mr. Boulanger, you want to drive your holes through now? Start drilling, then we can joist hanger this thing, put our threaded rods through, call it a day. And we're good. All the restructuring and framing is done except in the garage. We have to build new bulkheads around the ductwork and repair the trusses that were cut to accommodate the 2 roof dormers.
The original builder cut out this half of the scissor truss, which severely compromised the strength, and they're getting a lot of sag and a lot of bounce in the roof above. So we're just gonna brace it back into the structure that's up here, glue it all, fasten it all together properly, and give it the strength that it needed before.
Explain to me where this leak was. How is it traveling down this stack?
What was happening is the leak was actually coming at the bottom 90 here on the spout. When you opened the top first, the water was obviously flowing through the spout initially. There was no evidence of any problems. Only when the diverter was triggered to redirect the water to your shower head, only at that point you started getting some water.
And then that elbow opened up, that little seam, and allowed
It was
water.
literally a very, very little tiny seam, and it was not a failure of a material. It was literally the copper wasn't cleaned properly before soldering.
So it didn't adhere.
Exactly.
It didn't actually.
So the solder didn't catch all around. It was just a little gap.
Before I close this up, I just want to make sure that we've got the leak 100%.
It's been tested, and that's the only signs of problems that I determined.
I really don't know what we would do if Mike is not here. It's too overwhelming. It's way beyond just a roof and a leaking shower now.
I want to do the laundry room downstairs, and I still want to give him a small bar area, and we got to make the furnace room bigger. The door opens here, there's an open window, there's the bar. You come up and you sit at your bar and you say, all right, I'll have a Crown and ginger ale.
I'll double, please. Today, we have spray foam coming in. It's a huge day. We got to get my guys prepped doing nailing edges, getting ready for spray foam. Also, Carl and I laying tiles in the bar area because I have to start getting that bar in place. Rob laying the tiles for the laundry room because we have to start that process as well. We have blown-in happening today up in the attic. Steve on the roof today. It's one of those big days.
Well, basically what we got here is just another entry of where the squirrels are getting in. It looks like the squirrels were nesting in this area here. A lot of trees that's here that's leading towards the roof line. So what happens is just prone for squirrels to come up here and play around here. So the best thing to do here would be to resheet this section here from rafter to rafter. With the underlayment on there, with the proper overhang, there's no way that these guys are gonna be trying to get back in here.
A lot of people don't realize how stressful tiles can be. To do them right, you know, caring about keeping it level, true. It's very frustrating. After a full day, you'll feel it in your back, you'll feel it in your body. Nobody ever pays attention to the guts of the project. So unfortunately, they never get to really see how hard and technical everything is. They just get to see a little bit of mascara, some lipstick, and oh, it looks beautiful.
I was going to relocate the thermostat wire for the air conditioning. When I started to pull it out, I started to notice throughout the wire, it looks like it's some burnt areas. So two possibilities. Either the thermostat wire was overheating and it melted the plastic, or because they ran it with the electrical wires running through, might have overheated. They had too many wires maybe going through a hole.
Yeah, they had quite a few going through each hole.
They could possibly heat up and cause this to melt maybe?
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, there were a couple overloaded circuits in here. One of the byproducts is overheated conductors, which would definitely cause this, especially if they're squished together real tight in a confined space. That would definitely cause it. This is a fire hazard, not so much for the low voltage wire because it's only a 24 volt circuit, but I mean, the 120 volt line, you can imagine how hot they must have gotten to melt this.
So we're gonna do blown in the attic. Now, have you taken a look up there?
Yeah, we're gonna remove everything.
Okay.
And then you can take a look at the wiring, right? Because we've had some little bit of infestation of some stuff running around in there. And you get in those older houses that, it's not uncommon to have that problem of having a rodent or a squirrel or something up there that's chewed the wires. A lot of electricians don't like getting up there, so it's always a good idea maybe to take out the insulation, especially if it's not very good. Take it out so they can see what's going on up there, and then have some peace of mind that, moving forward, their health and well-being is going to be taken care of.
Now, the garage. The garage is going to get a little tricky. Now, I'm going to build out some walls for you. As you can probably see, I mean, we have a foundation wall there that I want to spray.
Yep. We can get almost an R20 in there. And it's a lot better than what they had. Plus, we're going to seal it up really, really tight, so there's no worry about the fumes.
I'd say. Now, Alex is also going to spray the cold zone above the window in the upstairs bedroom, so the homeowners will never call it the meat locker again. He'll also spray the two bulkheads in the living room where we've upgraded the heating ducts. Now, our biggest job is going to be in the basement. We want to spray all the exterior walls to keep any heat loss to a minimum. Most heat loss in houses happens in the attic. We're going to blow in 12 to 15 inches of insulation to help prevent that. And once the insulating is done, we can finish putting this house back together. Now that includes finishing all the areas that were opened up and repainting so that it looks like we were never here.
We don't want to have a tape seam all the way down, our butt joint all the way down, because it's just going to be hard for the taper to make it look right, and it's a better chance for it to crack. So for that reason, we offset it.
This is the bar area. Now, it's hard not to go above and beyond when it's coming to a bunch of guys and a couple of girls down here, like having carte blanche with a bar. The homeowners had a small bar area, but we decided to give them something special. A custom-made bar that will be the highlight of the basement and be something the crew can be really proud of. It's interesting to us to be able to come up with something, an idea, a design, and actually implement it. And at the end of the day, have the people come down, look at it, and go, oh my God, I love it. This is something we can put our passion and our pride into, and you know, like Damon said, we've got great ideas for bars. Everyone likes to drink. We're doing custom cabinets, and it all begins with the planning. If you don't have your plan in place, you're guessing at everything you're doing. You need to draw everything out, get all your measurements perfect, start putting it together, placing it, each piece as it goes, and getting a perfect layout. Ready, buddy? 1, 2, 3. Watch the bulkhead a bit. Our cabinets have to be perfectly level, and that's why we start off with bases, getting everything off the ground, because we can shim and level the bases to the cabinet as we go, getting it nice and true. Right there, buddy, that's perfect. It's dead on the money.
I didn't say build a bar. I said this will be the bar area.
So we're just getting doors in today, trim. Peter's here, he's just finishing up the mudding today. We have the pantry going in upstairs right now. See the roof?
Yes.
Roof's getting done.
Like, why didn't we just take the house down and build another
kidding.
one? That's, how far did we go?
I know. Yeah, we're almost there, man.
This looks good. Lucky people.
Yeah. Well, we've had Peter come in this weekend and finish off all the mudding, and just in time, because we have low painting in today to start painting the basement, which is fantastic. We have Steve Graves here for a little bit today, just finishing off the outside. Our guys today helping me with the bar, getting the bar done. Sherry doing some tiles downstairs for us today, and also the electricians doing last-minute touches on electrical.
We're just on sort of the finishing stages here. We're coming up to the peak of the roof. The ridge vent's going to go in. Typically, ridge venting's a better type of vent than on a traditional roof like this, a traditional slope. The reason for that, it's right at the high point. That's where the heat is rising to. The other advantage of the ridge vent is it's cosmetically nicer to look at. We're using a designer shingle, so the ridge vent itself installs at the peak, and we actually shingle over it, so you see very little of the product. But definitely, in terms of performance, functions better because it's right at the peak. So basically, same scenario. In the back area here is other parts of the home. So in this area, not only do we have to install a vented panel, or a few vented panels, there was actually a solid plywood soffit beforehand, which we actually had to cut out and open up. And in this area, same thing, getting the air intake in at the eave area, getting up into the attic, the upper roof, and then exhausting at the ridge vent. Now that this is all vented, same thing, reduce any chance of moisture, mildew, or mold problems, and increasing the efficiency of the home again.
Are we going to be able to stand this up in here?
We have 4 inches from the bottom.
Okay.
A little bit more, please. Perfect.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice, guys, very nice.
Damon's got me using speed set over a regular thin set, which would dry much slower. Speed set can set up pretty quickly on you, depending on your mix. It's much harder to use because you have to make smaller batches because they do dry up really fast. You gotta get your work done so that people can walk on it.
Well, there's a couple things with the archway. I mean, this is a big focal point, so when someone comes down here, they're gonna look at this. So Damon specifically wanted this perfect. He said, I want you to work on this, take your time, get it perfect. So I guess you got the right guy for the job.
Well, I guess you got the right man for the job.
Now, since we moved the washer and dryer to a new laundry room in the basement, we decided to use the space for a new pantry.
I'm here to install this pantry to maximize their space, put all their canned goods, stuff like that away. This pantry here is adjustable. You can move things around. You can add to it. You can take away from it. It's very adjustable to your lifestyle.
Okay, just watch the wall, please, guys. Watch. Okay. There we go. This is Caesar stone. Now, how does that differ from everything else?
Well, as opposed to a natural stone, this is man-made.
Right.
So what they do is they mix 93% quartz, 7% resin, and a little bit of coloring, and they compress it into a slab. So as I say to people, it takes in about 1 minute what Mother Nature took 1,000,000 years to do.
Right.
To compress
Well
it into a
said.
slab.
Well said.
And then they polish it just like they'd use a normal stone.
1, 2, 3, down, fast.
Here they put in the patterning. But you can, I mean, if you want to have Holmes on it, you could have your logo on it. And they'll do that type of thing. And the slab won't cost any more. It's the artwork.
He's gonna kill me for not doing that. You had to say that?
Yeah.
Don't tell him that. He's gonna want me to do it.
Change it. So you can have any pattern.
You can have
want.
any pattern, any
logo,
print?
anything you want.
That is unbelievable. That's really sexy. I really like it.
If you had a restaurant, you could have the logo on
Right.
the table. You could have all those types of things.
Hey, the next project.
Yeah.
We'll get his name up there.
What is it? Damon's Bar and Grill here?
I can't say that because I'm spending his money, right? So if I could at least put his name up there, it'll be like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
Some of the problems we were having here was return air in the house. There's a big, large grill that's in the center hallway here, and there's a couple to the bedrooms upstairs. When we started to follow all the chases in the basement, there was a couple extra returns that we didn't know where they were going. So the mystery for this one was when they did the drywall, somebody actually didn't cut this out. It's gonna cause a problem. Whatever the return air is bringing back is actually what you're gonna be putting out through your supplies. So blocking them off, covering them with drywall, furniture, whatever the case may be, is gonna be a problem. We've located it down. I put a block end in, blocked it off. Now we're gonna have return in this room. So we got a lot of return in this house, a lot of good airflow. All the ducts are sealed up. They should be really, really happy here.
Before we finish this cabinet, there's a lot of things we have to do, a lot of prep work. So you can see here, compound was used to fill the gap. But what we're gonna have to do is sand that completely off, make sure it's flush, and then we'll stain it. So the attention to detail in the early stages, the prep work, is so important because it not only brings out the grain, it'll bring out the flaws if you're not careful. The nice thing about stain is it really enhances the natural dynamics of the wood. Oak is very nice because the stain really takes well. It's very porous and it allows the stain to penetrate really evenly. In this case, we're using a black stain almost. So you really got to work it in, get it all in the grain, and then wipe it smooth afterwards.
Well, we're just cleaning out the debris that's in the eaves trough because we're covering the eaves with smart screen, which is going to keep the debris as well as snow and ice from collecting in the gutters. But with these brand new shingles, we've got a lot of granules as well. When they manufacture the shingles, we get they overpress them to make sure there's even coverage of granule on the asphalt. So we're just getting all the debris out first, and then we're able to install the product.
So we've gone ahead and replaced the rain cap with a new one. It's going to prevent any debris from going down into the flute. Also, main thing is going to prevent any animals from crawling in, which happened with the previous one. A squirrel actually bent
the cage and crawled down into the house. So we've replaced this with it's a little bit stronger steel. It's galvanized. These are designed and work really well, but because in this case there are mature trees close to the house, it's up to the homeowner to do regular maintenance. Basically keep an eye on them to see if there are any animals trying to get in or if there's any damage done to it.
We're really close on this bar. I mean, what do I have left? I have to finish the tiles. We'll get that done tonight. Joey's gonna come in tomorrow, put some valance lighting in. We'll have to finish off a little bit of trim here and there. Craig Lowe's got a few more coats to do here. Some plumbing for the sink. We're gonna spend our next day here, then we'll bring them home.
Mr. Bennett, I gotta say, that's probably the best work you've done to date.
Oh, thank you very much. I owe it all to the crew, buddy. They worked hard.
You know that bar is probably 25 grand, eh?
Yeah, it felt like it was about 25 grand.
So you enjoyed it? Did you have a drink or two?
Well, listen, okay, you gave a bunch of guys a bar to do. We just went crazy. So, you know, we're all sitting there, you know, Carl's talking, me, Adam's talking, like, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it, man. And I'm like, okay. So I'm starting to count it up. I'm like, okay, we're still okay. We're not spending too much money yet. And then at the end, it was just like, let's get it done. Let's do this really well. So we spent a little bit of your money, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
But it's fun spending someone else's money. When you have something that nice to do.
It's easy to spend someone else's money, right?
It absolutely is.
Had I have given you some money, say, this is your money.
I wouldn't have spent it.
No, you wouldn't have.
Yeah, 2, 3.
Hasn't been that long, has it?
Been almost 2 months.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it has been.
See, for us, time flies, but it's funny how we got to go backwards. And go, okay, when were we here? When were we here?
John, how you doing, buddy?
Just a couple months to do the Christmas.
Welcome home. Exactly, that's right.
I want you two together because this is going to be important. This is really all about you. We have a little bit of rain coming, and it's perfect because you have a brand new roof. Not only do you have a new roof, I love Steve Graves and his guys. You did all the sides as well, and all new siding around your windows.
This looks so beautiful.
We also did a lot of downspouts, trough, smart screen. You had a lot of trees in this area, so we definitely put smart screen all the lowers.
So it's wild. You see the roof, you see the garage, and all of a sudden, it's all changed, right?
Absolutely.
We repaired all the ductwork that was allowing carbon monoxide to come inside the home. Blue drywall, insulation, not to mention fixing those roof trusses that were cut. They shouldn't have played with that. This was a job in itself, just your garage, never mind your roof. Remember the last time I brought you in, we had holes in the walls everywhere. Now it looks like your normal kitchen, doesn't it?
It does. The whole ceiling was gone last time you brought us
The
in.
whole ceiling was gone. Not only was the whole ceiling gone, man, we had to put in a whole new beam right across, doubling up every single floor joist in here, bracing it.
Right.
We had to pick up load in the basement, putting in a steel beam, and what that does is picks up load in that corner right on the steel beam.
That's a huge weight off our shoulders, knowing that it's structurally sound and that it couldn't cause any structural damage or, you know, severe damage since it's on a second level later in the future. It's now been addressed and it's safe and secure.
You want to open those doors?
I'll let Carol do it.
We turned it into a bathroom.
Wow!
Wow, that looks great.
Wow, this is so nice!
You know, it's only logical that it should be a pantry. Walk in there, play around with it.
Well, do you remember where your old pantry is?
This is a walk-in pantry. Oh, this is awesome! Oh my God! Oh, look at this!
This looks great.
See the little things, eh?
Yeah,
I love it! Oh, this is so good.
We covered an awful lot of things in your house. Let's look at what we did in the attic alone. There was areas with no insulation.
I could actually see your vapor barrier.
Wow.
Yeah.
We pulled out all the insulation that was in your attic. We pulled it, we vacuumed it, literally sucked it all out, making sure we had proper ventilation so that air comes in the soffit, escapes through the roof where it's supposed to in the right manner, and then putting an R50 in your attic, not an R40.
Not to mention, when we pulled out all the insulation in your attic, the animals that had got in there chewed your wires bare. Frank's guys were in and they replaced all the damaged wiring.
Now, we had to open up the whole ceiling in the front because within the HVAC, they came up with a 6-inch run and
They reduced
converted
it
down. They reduced it.
The original builder actually, he was having trouble getting it up there. So what he did is he started reducing it. So it was an insufficient line going up. So what Gary had to do was turn that into a 6-inch line coming all the way up and through. Now that's partly why it was so cold in that room, but it's also because there was no insulation above that window.
That's not good. No insulation, so you have heat loss, and you have a long run from the furnace getting up there, and insufficient piping, it wasn't getting enough hot air. So we're losing heat and not getting enough heat. That's why it was so cold. We moved the washer and dryer downstairs into its own laundry room. We even put in a brand new panel with surge protectors for the entire house. Also, we put in a ceiling fan above the dryer, and this way we're gonna remove any excess humidity. Now, what was leaking in your bathroom was just a little pinhole in the solder joint at the tap itself on the shower side. So if you ran the tub, it wasn't an issue, but as soon as you went to the shower, it put the pressure up and started to drip out. And what it did was, came down the copper line, then it hit the ABS line, which was running on an angle, followed across the ABS line, and then dripped onto the ceiling. Slowly dripped, slowly dripped. Wow. Let's take a look at the basement. Utility room.
Yeah, this is right.
Yeah. So furnace was moved, hot water heater was moved.
That's right.
Everything's done properly, exhausted properly. It's big enough, you walk around, it's right on the design. So now if we continue walking through, making sure we have a louvered door that allows that breathability in the room, we want that. We're gonna address to the right, okay? Just in the design alone, I said to Damon, all I did was I walked through, I saw this finished, told Damon what I wanted, and that's exactly what he did. As a matter of fact, this is one of the best he's ever done. So I'm really, really pleased. Look at the trim work, look at the colors, look at the
It's beautiful.
Thank you. And Damon wanted to arch this to match the arch at the front of your house.
That's a really nice touch. Yeah, that's a really nice touch.
Thank you very much.
So it leads us into this walking area that seems to, well, we had an idea. If it was our basement, this is exactly how we'd lay this out.
Wow. Ooh. Sorry, I have to leave you. This is too exciting.
We can carry this conversation on.
Oh my God.
This is incredible.
Oh, this is so beautiful. Oh, it's way beyond my wildest dream. This is so beautiful. The whole experience is like, I don't think it can get better, but it does. It just keeps getting better. I thought the pantry was the best thing ever. Then I come down to the basement, oh my God.
My crew alone helped and worked together, built all the cabinets, worked in design on how, taking the arch from the front, matching it in here, but yet keeping a nice straight bulkhead here to give you open window to the archway.
The tiles.
Everything, that's stone.
Wow.
Yeah, that backsplash
It's
is beautiful.
beautiful. I love this counter.
Now, this
What is
countertop,
it?
this is actually quartz, isn't it?
This is quartz, that's right.
But they did a wonderful finish on this. It's almost
so
like
beautiful.
it's almost like a leopard or
say
alligator.
alligator.
Yes,
Yeah, I was
alligator.
gonna say too.
Everyone here was so proud of doing this.
Absolutely.
And then we've got our electricians and our plumbers and all, our painter, Craig Lowe. Everyone comes in and helps here. But my crew was really happy on this
Absolutely.
one. They were excited to do this. They all, they walked out. I think they can't wait to see what you say.
The wow factor, if you will, is definitely the bar in the basement. It's just, an entertainment center that, it's just incredible. It's beyond words. So I think that has the biggest pop. But, with Mike and his team, it's all about what's behind the walls, and it's the assurance knowing that it was done right and that, the spray foam, the electricity, the plumbing, those issues at the base level thing, that's what I'm most excited about, to tell you the truth.
All I can say is now it's right. We made it right. We made it beautiful. I'm happy, proud of him, and it's a pleasure meeting you both. Where's the wine?
I'm going to load up that bar. After everybody's gone, I'm going to load up that bar and open a bottle of wine and enjoy it.
Right.
We can sit here.
To my crew, you guys are awesome. You did a beautiful job. I just want to tell you before everyone comes downstairs, I'm very proud I have you guys around me. Seriously.
Thank
Good
you very
job.
much.
Love you
Feel
all.
the same way.
Cheers, guys.
You guys really raised the bar. No pun intended.
High five.
Nice.
Nice.